Good morning. It's day 4 of the cruise and it's noon and I'm still in bed because I think I was food poisoned last night. Now you could say, Laurie, what if you have the neurovirus? Well, I don't think so because I've had both and this felt like food poisoning, and plus I'm starting to feel better after throwing up all morning. I think if I had a virus, I would still feel sick. So I'm sad because there was 2 trivias today of all days that I was looking forward to doing, movie trivia and a musical trivia. And I'm not going to do them, but I'm trying to get it together to do karaoke. There's afternoon karaoke, which there's hardly ever afternoon karaoke. So I want to do that with Gary. And then tonight's formal night. And you guys, I have a dress to end all dresses, which I'll now fit into nicely because I threw up all morning. So there's always a bright side to everything. Silver lining, Gary says. Silver lining. Anyway, yeah, that's the day so far.
Come and cruise with us, come and cruise with us, come and cruise with us, and you won't regret it.
It was most definitely food poisoning because by 1 p.m. I felt 100% and we made it to another aviation lecture. And I know you all are thinking, how did she get food poison? Well, I believe it was from Izumi, and I believe specifically it was from the baked snow crab and salmon dynamite roll. And I believe this because no one else in my family got sick, and that is the only thing different that I ordered from them. Now, did I report to guest services that I felt like I was food poisoned from Izumi? No, I didn't. I've eaten at Izumi many times without incident. I truly feel that this was a one-off case. But also, I was concerned that they would force me to get checked up by the medical team, and I didn't want to deal with any insurance claim issues or anything like that. But I don't know. Maybe it was wrong of me not to report this. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment box below. In retrospect, I am so grateful it was just a touch of food poisoning because it only interrupted a small portion of our cruise. And not only did we make it to the aviation lecture, but we got to do some karaoke all-stars.
Someone sneaking around the corner. Could that someone be my tonight?
Do you know what's worse than being food poisoned? Having Gary be robbed of getting to the next round of this karaoke competition. I think the judges did him so wrong. Usually karaoke sucks on a cruise ship. Like, no one can sing, everyone is tone deaf, but this was an actual competition and people came to play. Everyone was really good. So I feel like the people that sang earlier in the competition were kind of screwed over because the judges all started with lower marks, but then as everyone was good, they gave higher and higher marks. And in the end, it was the last 2 people that sang that went on to the next round. Clearly, you can see how unfair that is. Anyway, Gary, you are number 1 in my heart, and you win the karaoke competition in my soul. All right, you guys, I've officially outdone myself. I love formal night. I take my formal night very seriously. And over the years, if you've been watching us, I've come up with some pretty cool, unique, fancy formal night outfits, but I don't know how I'm going to top this. So here is me at my formal night peak. Formal night is becoming less and less of a thing on cruise vacations. What do you guys think? Should they keep formal night? Should they get rid of it? Please let us know in the comments below. Gary doesn't look too shabby himself. And even though we purchased the unlimited specialty dining package for this cruise, We like to eat in the main dining room on formal nights. The food is usually elevated then, and we wanted to eat with my parents, who were also on the cruise with us, who only got the 3 specialty dining package. On this entire 11-day cruise, we only ended up eating here 4 times. 2 times for dinner, and then I ate here alone once for breakfast and once for lunch. I think it's important to say I never had to wait for a table. Now it's true that the ship wasn't quite at capacity, but it was pretty full. And a lot of other YouTube videos that we watched before we went on this cruise complained about long wait times to be sat, and I'm pleased to tell you that just wasn't our experience. Here's what the menu looks like on the first formal night. I've got the butternut squash soup.
Verdict?
Let's have a sip, shall we? Awesome. Honestly, you can never go wrong with cruise ship soup. All right, you guys, it's the moment we've been waiting for. Escargot time. And I love the top, the cheesy garlicky top. And let me bite into this bad boy. As good as always. Never go wrong with this.
The wedge.
Is it good, babe? Is it good?
Yeah, it is.
Good.
I like the blue cheese and the mixed with the bacon.
Okay.
Really nice.
Nice. I got the risotto option for my main course. It was really good. All right, Gary got the salmon. Go in for it, baby.
Wanted to display it. It's great. I'm going to give it a go. Flavorful, but dry.
Okay. I got the split pea risotto. Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. It looks great.
Thank you, Linda.
This is the cappuccino chocolate cake. And you know me, I'm a frosting girl, so I'm going to eat the frosting off.
Dip it in that chocolate. Dip it in the chocolate sauce.
It's okay. Tastes very buffet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, tell it like it is, babe, you know.
And Gary got the ice cream.
With chocolate sauce. And let me taste it. Yep, tastes like ice cream.
So, yeah, a lot of people talk dirty about the Royal Caribbean main dining room food, but we like it. No, it's not an out-of-this-world, blow-your-mind dining experience, but the food does the job. We caught the very tail end of this sunset, and then we headed through the Royal Esplanade to get to the theater to see the show Effectors. Only to find out when we got there that the 8 p.m. show had to be canceled due to some technical difficulties. The 10 p.m. was still going on, or this 8 p.m. show was getting postponed till a different day. 10 p.m. is way past my bedtime, so we opted out and instead just walked around the ship and took photos. This photo taken of us by the photographers on board is one of my all-time fave photos of us. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. So because the show was canceled and it was formal night, we figured the hot tubs might be a bit empty, so we put on our swimsuits and went to check it out. The hot tubs by the pool were a bit full, but in the solarium it wasn't too bad. And I will definitely get more into the solarium in our full ship tour coming soon. But in the evenings on this cruise, it was so quiet and peaceful. We chilled here for about an hour and then we went to bed, and that completed our 4 sea days to get to the Caribbean. Definitely go back and watch our earlier videos on this cruise if you haven't yet. And also, pretty please hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. We have more videos coming out soon, not only about this cruise, but cruise vacations we have coming up. You don't want to miss them, so definitely make sure you subscribe. For now, it's breakfast and a view of St. Maarten. So, hot tip, if you have an excursion leave for it like a half hour in advance because we've been waiting for the elevator for how long, baby? Like
10 minutes. Maybe.
literally 10 minutes we've been waiting for an elevator.
Yeah.
And it has not come yet. So we left nice and early, so we're not too concerned, but just be aware that it's long wait time sometimes. One of the elevators was out of service this entire cruise, and other elevators were out of service for small amounts of time. I don't know if that's the norm, but it did make the waiting for and catching an elevator process very time consuming. So today we're doing the plane spotting at Maho Beach, and that's the one where you're on the beach. The planes come super close to you. I'm really looking forward to it. Gary's waiting in the line, and it should be a great day. Whenever we know we're taking a bus tour somewhere, we always get to the line super early because Gary gets motion sick and prefers to be closer towards the front of the bus. We arrived over 15 minutes early, and we were still at this point in the line. So that's just a tip for you if you tend to suffer from motion sickness. Also, if you have an excursion in Sint Maarten and you suffer from mobility issues, it is a bit of a hike between where the ship is docked and where the buses leave from. Just be aware of that as well.
55,000 to the Dutch side and 45,000 to the French side.
I ended up in the last row of the bus, separated from Gary, but at least he got a second row seat. Also, from the back of the bus, even though the tour guide was mic'd, it was very hard to hear her. If you've been following Gary and I, you know we are worrywarts, which is why we almost always purchase cruise ship sponsored excursions. We're just terrified of getting stuck somewhere and not being able to get back to the ship. With this excursion, it was about a 45-minute drive to the beach, and then they dropped you off in a parking lot. We were both feeling a touch coffee deprived, so we went into this bakery that we saw immediately, coffeed ourselves up, and then headed to the beach. So while we're watching the planes, let's talk about what this excursion included. It included the bus ride to and from the beach, and then a $1 coupon for the bar restaurant located right near the beach. When they dropped us off for almost 4 hours. As you can see, there is little to no shade anywhere. There were a few umbrellas and chairs available for rent for $35. Here we are sitting on this beach for plane spotting, and I've been trying to get that perfect picture of me doing a split as a plane comes in, and I was literally just sitting in a split for like 8 minutes. So just so you guys know, the planes don't always come in every 2 seconds here. It could be like a half hour in between each plane. So it's actually harder to get that perfect shot than you would imagine.
We're waiting.
Also, we set up shop a little to the right of like where the planes come in, because obviously where the planes actually come in, it's a little
to the left of us.
Yeah, it's too crowded. I think it's too crowded there.
Crowded beach.
Crowded beach.
And it's hot.
Yeah, and if you want to rent a chair with an umbrella here, it'll cost you $35.
$35.
Yeah, and we're only here for like 2 or 3 more hours, so I don't know. It didn't seem worth it. It didn't seem worth it because the chairs and umbrellas were located in a horrible area of the beach. They were on these mini little cliffs to the side, and there were little kiosks directly next to them. Also, they were away from where the planes came in, which defeats the whole purpose. Another thing to note about this beach, it is not child friendly. The surf was so strong, it kept knocking me over. Like at one point, I was trying to get out of the water and I kept falling. And I barely even went in. I can't imagine a child trying to go in this water. So, how much did we pay for an uncomfortable bus ride, 4 hours at a beach with no protection from the sun, an unsafe feeling every time we stepped into the water, an overcrowded beach with an occasional plane flying overhead every now and then, and the opportunity to pay extra to eat lunch? $116.98.
This beach we're at in St. Maarten, right at the airport is was fun for about 45 minutes. And we were here for, I think, 3.5 hours. We should go.
We should go.
It's almost 5 to 2.
It's right over there. It's not even there yet.
Oh, okay. Well, you
2:30.
you sounded a little anxious. What time is it? So I
I
thought,
thought it was going to be like after 2.
oh,
Yeah, so 30 minutes before the bus was due to leave, we just couldn't take it anymore. So I went back to that bakery, purchased more coffee, and we were able to sit in the shade under that umbrella. And I know we aren't alone in our feelings because there was a big crowd gathered around us looking for the bus, wanting to get back on the bus. Because even if you went out and ate lunch at the restaurant located right next to the beach and then spent a solid hour at the beach, that was just too much time to be there. So we are not saying do not go to Maho Beach. What we are saying is definitely do not purchase this excursion. It is so easy to hail a cab from the St. Maarten port, and then once you're at the beach, there's a taxi stand, so it is no problem getting a cab back. After the excursion, we spent a bit of time walking around the port. I believe this is now officially our 5th time going to St. Maarten on a cruise. And of the 5 times, we have yet to have a decent cruise ship excursion experience. The first time we went, we did a bus tour, which was okay, especially considering it was one of our first few times in St. Maarten, but it's not something we would consider doing again. Since then, every time we've been, we've purchased a beach excursion. We've noticed the beaches to be overcrowded, not the cleanest, with too many peddlers constantly in your face even when you're trying to relax, trying to sell you merchandise. The actual port where you get off the ship is very nice. It has great duty-free shops and kiosks. However, there's only so much time you can spend there. In the future, we are going to try and avoid cruises that go to that port, but it's such a major hub, I'm sure we'll be back there. Have you guys ever done an amazing excursion in St. Maarten? Please let us know in the comments below. That way, if we come back, we can look for it and maybe not have such a miserable time. Or we can just stay on the ship. After walking around for a good hour, getting our magnets and other souvenirs, it was time to head back to the ship. Love being parked next to the Celebrity Ascent. We will be on Celebrity Edge in May, looking forward to it. And by this time we were famished because we had refused to eat at the Extra Pay restaurant on the beach. So we went to El Loco Fresh, the Mexican fast food restaurant on the ship. And then we had to skedaddle to go see the book, which is the big production show in the 270 Lounge. We reserved tonight's show as soon as we saw it come up on the app. It's a good idea to keep your eye on the app starting about 6 weeks for your cruise. For productions that come up, you're going to want to make your reservations as soon as possible so your showtime of choice does not fill. I also need to note while we're waiting for the production to start, the captain made a spicy announcement. I unfortunately didn't capture him saying this on camera, but he called out a family by name that was late to the ship. He said the only reason that they made it on board was because the cruise terminal held them. So if you sail Odyssey, this captain don't play, don't be late.
What are we getting ready to do, baby?
see a show called The Book, and I read the description of it. It says, many things can happen between the first cover and the last cover. So, kind of things wide open.
All right, the book review. So the book was created and written by the Royal Caribbean production team. We've seen two other productions like this. On Anthem of the Seas, they had Spectra's Cabaret in the 270 Lounge, and they had The Gift in the main theater. And whenever Royal Caribbean goes off and writes their own show, you know that the singers are going to be great, the dancing is going to be awesome, but the plot is going to be non-existent, if not dumb. And this show was no exception. Now, once it got going, it was really enjoyable, but it started with like almost a 10-minute monologue from that guy you just saw disappear. if you guys know us, you know a show always captures our hearts when there's Ariel in it. And honestly, we would give this show higher marks if there was an actual production show on this ship to watch. On Anthem of the Seas, the book musical is We Will Rock You. And then, of course, we just saw the best cruise ship show we've ever seen on Symphony of the Seas, which was Hairspray. And we'll take you into the other 2 production shows on this ship in future videos. But we just think Royal is cheaping out on us when they don't have at least one well-written book musical on their cruise ship. But what do you guys think? What's your opinion? Please let us know in the comments below. And do you guys know what I love more than aerialists? I love contortionists. This is the first real contortion act I've ever seen on a cruise, and I was mesmerized. What do you guys think? Should I be in this show with her? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, I guess you should let Royal Caribbean know too that there's a 45-year-old woman gunning for this person's job. Kidding. Anyway, while I finish playing out her act, our final thoughts are: no plot, great singing, great dancing, amazing contortionist, good Ariel. Overall, enjoyable, except for the first 10 minutes, which is basically just one guy randomly walking around stage doing things. After the show, we walked around the ship, as is our normal evening routine.
Of actually working.
Yeah, remember it was out of order on our first year.
Yeah. Said it was
Bionic bar, hard at work. And as we headed back to our room to go to bed, we got a special treat. We ended up in the elevator with this guy. He basically rolls his piano around the ship. You never know when or where he's gonna play. And this was just an excellent cap to our evening. And Royal Caribbean, having this musician on your cruise ships is just awesome. It's unique and it makes our vacation that much more special. And that's where we're gonna leave the video for this evening. Don't forget to subscribe. Coming soon, we visit more islands and a ship tour. Until we see you then, we want you to live your best cruise life. Bye-bye.